The Marvels could be the next Thor Love and Thunder? Oh my gosh, I hope not. Please tell me that's not true. What's up everyone, Eric here, and in today's video, we're gonna be talking about the upcoming movie, The Marvels from director Nia DaCosta, and some of the comments that she made about the movie. So strap in, this might be a rough one. Okay, full disclosure, I'm really excited for The Marvels. I'm looking forward to this film. I love all of the properties that are gonna connect to this. I love the first Captain Marvel movie. I loved WandaVision. I really enjoyed Miss Marvel. So all of these things sort of tying together, and I guess Secret Invasion, which I did not like, but still, all of that tying together into this movie has me really excited. So I'm looking forward to this film. However, I am a little bit concerned, and you guys know I don't try to prejudge too much when it comes to movies, but I'm a little bit concerned about comments made from Nia DaCosta in terms of what kind of movie this is gonna be. So let's read here. This is an article from The Hollywood Reporter. It is from a couple of days ago, but I'm just now getting around to making a video on it. It says, The Marvels director on superhero fatigue and why the sequel will stand out. It says here, the biggest difference from the other MCU movies to date is that it's really wacky and silly. The worlds we go to in this movie are worlds unlike others you've seen in the MCU, bright worlds that you haven't seen before. We're gonna get back to the first part of that statement. The second half, though, about seeing worlds we've never seen before, yes, I mean, that sounds exciting to me. I love the cosmic MCU, right? We've had Guardians of the Galaxy, we had the Thor movies, we had the Loki series, we've had the Avengers movies, the cosmic connection with the Eternals. We have had stuff like that before. And we see in the trailers and the promo materials that we're gonna be jumping around a lot of different places in this movie, and I'm looking forward to that. I really am. I think that's exciting. However, the first half of this, wacky and silly. Look, I have loved almost all of the ridiculous shit that the MCU has done. Almost everything. But when I think of wacky, that word, wacky, it makes me think of Thor Love and Thunder. But for me, my personal opinion, I thought the movie went too far. I thought that the previous film was a much better blend of the ridiculous nature of that director, Taika Waititi, and Thor Love and Thunder, I thought went too far. It pushed the envelope too far for me. It went into satire and parody and places that I didn't want it to go. And the friends that I went with to see it, several of them are huge fans of his. They thought it was too much. It just didn't feel right. That to me feeds into that word wacky. Silly, not so much. Wacky, definitely. So my biggest concern is that this movie is going to be like Thor Love and Thunder. And I really hope it is not. I've made videos talking about ways to fix Thor Love and Thunder. I think there's a couple things that could have been done to make that movie better for me. And I really hope going into this movie that it isn't like Thor Love and Thunder. I don't want to see that type of narrative again. I think if you're going to do that, you kind of have to just start a show from the beginning with that vibe, because Thor already had massive vibe changes from the first movie to the second movie to the third movie. I think the fourth movie just went too far, in my opinion. So I don't want that. I don't want it to be that movie. It doesn't look like it's going to be that movie from what I've seen in the promo stuff. But wacky, silly, makes me a little nervous. The Avengers movies are these epic conclusions to chapters of storytelling, whereas this is a team up within the narrative that we didn't necessarily expect for Marvel. Usually you wait for characters to show up all together. In the Avengers movies, we were excited to design a team up featuring characters that women from all walks of life could relate to. That's cool. I'm totally down with that. I think that's great. You want to make sure that you're making everybody feel included in the market. You want to be making products that reach out to people from all walks of life. This is perfect. I think that's great. Then we have this weird thing where I don't know why Hollywood Reporter did it this way, but I guess it's because of the context of what was set up here about like making the movie different from director Nia DaCosta. But in this article, they talked to Christopher Miller, who also addressed superhero fatigue. And this is what he said, and we've talked about this before. I don't believe it's superhero fatigue. I believe it's a movie that feels like a movie I've seen a dozen times before fatigue. If you're using the same story structure and the same style and the same tone and the same vibe as the movie and shows that have come out before, it doesn't matter what genre it is, it's going to be boring to people. And I will agree with that. So it seems to me like what they're trying to do here is they're trying to create this new type of story for superhero media. I keep kicking stuff under my desk and I'm not going to edit that out. But they're trying to create this new like idea of what a superhero movie can be. And by doing that, there's tiny mistakes that are happening. I think Thor Love and Thunder, from my opinion, was not creatively its best. That's just my personal opinion. It made money. It did well. So it did resonate with some people. I'm guessing a lot of people went back and saw it more than once. Not me personally. I don't think it was their best effort. But I do believe that there could be a market for that kind of stuff. And maybe that's what we're experimenting with here. Maybe that's what Marvel is saying. Hey, we want to dive even further into it. Like She-Hulk, which I absolutely loved. I love that show. I enjoyed it. I've watched it twice already. That's a show where it set up a vibe and it committed to that vibe all the way through. I don't know if that's what they're doing with the movie here. I don't know if that's what's happening. Is it going to be more funny in general? Like, are the characters going to be more funny, or are they just going to be put in silly and wacky situations where their personalities are still retained? Because one thing about Thor is Thor's personality also changed from movie to movie to movie. Even with the Avengers movie, it was like Thor was slightly different no matter where he went. We see that a little bit. I mean, you could say like the stuff with Spider-Man and Doctor Strange was a little bit odd. Their personality did change a little bit, or Doctor Strange's personality did change a little bit there. So is that what's going to happen here with this movie? Are all three of the actors in this film, the leads, are they going to have slightly different personalities from what we remember from the shows? I don't know. I also think superhero fatigue in general is absolutely just fatigue of seeing the same type of stories recycled over and over and over again. And so they have to do something to break out of that. You know what I mean? Like going back to like the standard of just churning out these formulaic type films just isn't going to work anymore. People aren't going to go see that. So I'm excited for the Marvels. I'm hyped to see this movie. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know how much money it's going to make. Maybe it will be $1 billion movie. I don't think it needs to make $1 billion, but I think that a lot of people are hoping it will make $1 billion because the first Captain Marvel did. But this feels very different from that movie. Even though it is a sequel to Captain Marvel, it's also a sequel to some other properties. So we're going to see if all of that is going to lead into some massive success for the film. Also, with the strike that's going on right now, which by the way, support the strikers, support our writers and actors, creatives, basically support them all. With that going on, I don't know how much promotion they're actually going to have for the film leading up to its release, even though it is November when it comes out. That is literally right around the corner, and you would think they would start winding up that promotional period right now, which they can't do other than like pre-recorded stuff or merchandising. It's pretty much all they can do at the moment. So this movie, along with other movies, are going to have to walk uphill to make it work in terms of like promoting, because until you are willing to pay the people what they're worth, they're not going to go out and promote. And that's, you know, that's what they got to do. So let me know your thoughts and opinions about this below. Do you think it's going to be like Thor: Love and Thunder? Are you excited about the Marvels? What are your thoughts on all of this? Let me know in the comments below, and subscribe if you're new. Leave me a like. I'll see everyone later. Bye.